This is the story time of how I'm the reason for Sissy's fucking breakup. Anyone Sissy's ever dated, I'm super close with because Sissy's like the other half of my soul. So obviously I'm going to be so fucking close with whatever man is inside of her. Like, I don't know why is dating her. Like, they're going to be my fucking soulmate too, bitch. Sissy's ex and I, we were close. Not that close, but we were pretty close. We would have good convos, you know, like he was like my brother. So this man calls me out of the blue one day, and immediately when I see his name pop up on my phone, I'm like, oh my God, he like wants to buy her a present. Like, that's so fucking cute. And he's gonna ask me like what the fuck to get her. Like, I'm so excited. Let's call this man Stanley, just because I think it's funny. I answered the phone, I'm like, what the fuck is up, Stanley? Like, what do you want? Immediately, Stanley's voice sounds weird. He's like, are you alone? Like, ew, what the fuck is wrong with Stanley? Like, why is he asking me that? I won't lie. In the back of my head, I was like, is this fucker gonna tell me he's in love with me? Because like, why is he asking if I'm like, ew, that's so creepy. You know what I mean? Like, of course my brain goes there. I'm like, Livy, he's in love with, are you fucking me? But I'm like, yes, Stanley, I'm alone. Like, what do you want? And he was like, I think I'm gonna break up with your sister. Wait, what the fuck? Because a million things are going through my fucking head. Obviously, I'm like, okay, so he's not in love with me. Thank fucking God, because that'd be weird. But also, he doesn't want to buy her a nice present. Third of all, like, why the fuck is he calling me to tell me that he wants to break up with my sister? Like, what the fuck am I gonna do about this? I'm then like listening to him tell me his reason as to why he wants to break up with her. And I'm like, do I fucking tell her? Like, what do I do? I'm in the weirdest position ever. Like, I don't think anyone should ever be put in that position because it's fucking weird. But the more he's talking, the more I'm realizing like this man just needed someone to talk to. Like, it could have been a therapist, but no, it had to be me. And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? And so I'm just like listening to him talk, like just letting him get whatever the fuck that he wants to say off his chest. Cause like, I'm also 19 years old at this point. Like, I don't know what the fuck to tell a grown ass, well, he's not a grown ass man, but I don't know what the fuck to tell this man who's telling me he actively wants to leave my sister. Like, why the fuck would I want that for my sister? I'm telling this man all the Pinterest quote things that I can, like, you deserve the best, do what's best for your mental health, because I have no idea what the fuck what to say. I tell this man, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, leave her. Why would I want someone to be with my sister who's not like 1,000% sure about her? Number one. Number two, what the fuck else am I gonna say? He's basically told me that he wants to break up with her. And then he's like, can you just like not tell her I told you? I'm like, yeah, like, no, your secret's safe with me. The fuck? That's my bitch. Obviously, I'm gonna tell my sister. At the same time, I'm low-key terrified to tell Sissy because like, who the fuck wants to tell their sibling that? Oh, like, hey, your man's called me. He's gonna end shit. Like, no. Go to part two. So not even an hour later, I get a call from Sissy that's like, Stanley broke up with me. She's hysterical, and I'm just over there like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it. Like, this is not going to be the moment that I tell her. Like, I'm like, oh girl, yeah, like, I just fucking talked. Like, I actually told him to leave you. Like, I'm not going to tell her in that moment. She already is heartbroken. Like, I'm not going to make it 30 fucking million times worse. So instead, I call my mom. I call my mom, and my mom's like, have you heard about, like, Stanley and Sissy? I'm like, Mom, Stanley fucking called me before he left her. Like, and he asked me if I should break up with her, and I was like, yeah. Mom's like, oh my God, well, like, you have to tell her. And I'm like, Mom, I want to fucking tell her. I just don't think right now is the best time to tell her. She's like, yeah, don't tell her right now, but you eventually have to tell her that he called. And I'm like, okay, like, this is so fucking weird for me. I then proceed to call all of my sister's friends and tell them that Stanley called me before and asking, like, their opinion. Because, like, I also, like, don't want to hurt my sister even more. And they're like, yeah, just fucking wait. Like, she's going through it right now. Like, let's tell her in a week. I'm like, okay, perfect. We'll tell her in a week. But everyone's asking me, they're like, well, what did you tell him to do? I was like, well, I told him to leave because, like, I don't want someone who's just going to be half-assed with my sister. And I'm 19 fucking years old. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, this breakup feels like it's on my fucking shoulders. Like, I cannot keep secrets from Sissy. Like, I've never been able to do that my entire life. So I'm, like, freaking the fuck out. I know I'm going to say it a million times, but, like, why would I want someone with my sister who, like, doesn't want to be with my sister? Like, if I was, like, and he made his fucking mind up. Like, I wasn't like, yeah, leave that bitch. He was like, I think I want to leave her. So I'm like, okay, then fucking leave. Like, no one needs you. A couple months go by, Sissy's dealing with this heartbreak, and I'm like, I have to fucking tell her. My mom's like, you have to tell her. So I'm like, fuck, but I'm scared. Because Sissy did not take the breakup well, which obviously she didn't. No one fucking would. It was like a 2.5-year relationship that was ending on fucking FaceTime, and like, I had a part in it. Like, no one's gonna take that fucking well. It's like a random Tuesday afternoon, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna tell Sissy. Oh, I'm scared of this. Like, Sissy, just so you know, Stanley did call me an hour before you broke up, and he asked me if he should do it, and like just like spill all the fucking tea. And I thought she'd be mad at me, but she was like, I fucking hate him, and like obviously lost her mind on him, because it's like, that is a fucked up thing. Like, honestly, it really wasn't my fault. Like, who the fuck put somebody in that position? Who the fuck is like, let me just call her sister and tell her sister? Like, that's such a horrible position to put somebody in. I tell Sissy, she was not mad at me whatsoever. But that is the story time and how I'm the reason for Sissy's breakup. You guys can go listen to my podcast. It's literally in my YouTube and Midday Matcha, all streaming platforms, to hear Sissy's side of the story. But yeah, not my best moment, but like, actually caused me a lot of stress and anxiety. I'm not gonna lie.
I, 30 male, have footage of my brother-in-law, 50 male, entering my house while I'm gone. Thousands of dollars ended up missing. My sister, 40 female, is estranged from the family. She's a pathological liar, and we've watched her abuse my mom and a string of men over the years before we cut contact about 7 years ago. Her ex-husband from that time, Phil, was a really nice guy, and after their breakup, he stayed in contact and became close with my mom as they're both Portuguese and he didn't have many friends here. He would come over to fix stuff, have tea, or walk the dog. He says he has PTSD from the relationship, and I believe it. He's come over sobbing many times, and I've consoled him and supported him in general. Last December, about $1,500 was stolen from our home. I got a security camera facing the entrance to the house. The other day, I get an alert and I see Phil coming over. He had asked me a year ago if he could come walk the dog sometimes, and I agreed. He should be able to come in the gate and grab the dog without entering the house. I see him on camera greeting the dog, and then he starts rummaging through my stuff in the outdoor seating area. Okay, maybe he left something here. He goes inside for 4 minutes, then leaves without the dog. I decided to go back through the footage as we've noticed more money missing, as well as some Valium I just refilled. I have footage of him coming over 5 times from January to March 13th. Each time he comes over, he calls out to check I'm not home, disappears inside for about 4 minutes, then leaves without the dog. Without showing you the footage, I can say this is like 99% proof that he's the thief. We comb through everything and nobody else comes over. We don't have cameras inside, so no actual footage of stealing happening. But what the hell do I do? I'm planning to confront him this afternoon, but I don't know the best way to do it. He's massively built, ex-bouncer with anger issues in the past, extreme depression right now, and he can be aggressive. That said, he's always been the most perfect gentleman to my family, and his angrier side may just be in the past. I'm pretty fucked up by this, not to mention a few $1,000s down. He's coming over in about 8 hours, and I don't want to involve the police unless it's an extreme last resort.
Am I the asshole for not allowing my wife to go out with her friends? My wife and I moved to a new state a couple of years ago, and making friends was a bit hard. I've been here longer and was the first one to make some friends, all of them males, and so every time we hung out, she felt left out, although we did a good job of including her. When I made these friends, she said I was not able to hang out with them every week and definitely not able to do something every other day. So I took that in and compiled only had events once a month or so. Fast forward to a year or two later, and now she has a new job and made friends within her new job. Her friends go out to the bar after work literally every other day, and she wants to join in. I told her not every other day because she limited me on how many times I see my friends, and I'm just repaying it back. It's not fair that rules were set up on me but not on her. Double standard if you ask me.
My husband died 7 years ago through a car accident, leaving me all alone with our 12-year-old son. He was my rock and my soulmate, and I went through hell without him. I never remarried because I don't think I will ever love anyone as much as I loved him. I think I might have spoiled my son a little because it was only the two of us. I didn't want him to grieve and feel the loss of his father, so I did everything in my power to make him happy. I worked day and night to provide a very comfortable life for him. I gave birth to him when I was just 19 years. I went through a lot with him, so I decided never to have another child. He's 21 years now, and I think I might have oversheltered him. He is very lazy and he's not determined at all. He dropped out of school and I've done everything in my power to get him to go back, but to no avail. I've asked him to look for a job if he doesn't want to go to school, but he told me he doesn't want to work too. He wants to become a rapper. He says he'll make a lot of money rapping and that it is just a matter of time. I don't have a problem with him becoming a rapper, but I want him to at least finish school and then pursue music if that is what he really wants to do. But he never listens to me, so I decided to leave him alone at least for the meantime, and then try to get his grandfather to convince him again in a few months' time. But then I was in the house last month when a young girl came to the house with twins. She said the babies were for my son. He impregnated her and told her he wanted nothing to do with her or the baby. She's just 18 years, a year younger than me when I got pregnant. She says she has been able to keep it a secret from her parents because she was in school, but they found out about the babies after she gave birth and kicked her out. She doesn't know what to do or where to go. Her last hope is me. She was also scared of my son because he had warned her not to come to me. Luckily for me, when I got pregnant, my husband was very supportive and he was with me throughout every stage of the pregnancy. Unfortunately, my stupid son didn't take after his father. Now, the house we are living in is just a 2-bedroom apartment. I live in one room and he lives in the other room. There was no way I was going to allow this girl go out with my grandchildren into the streets to suffer. So I asked her to go pack her things and move into my son's room. When he came back and saw the girl in the house, he got very angry and asked her to move out. I told him they were not going anywhere. They were his responsibility and it was high time he grew up. He told me to choose between the girl, my grandchildren and him, and that he will move out of the house if the girl doesn't leave. He knew it was my weakness and I loved him with all my heart. But there was no way I was going to let that poor girl suffer on her own, because I was just like her some time ago. I told him I choose them. It's either he goes out to look for a job and take care of the girl and his kids, or he packs his things and leave my house. So he packed his things and left the house. I don't know where he is at the moment and I really hope he's okay. I feel I might have overreacted a little. I'm thinking of renting an apartment for him so that he can move there with the girl and the kids. But my sister thinks that is a bad idea and that I need to let him be the grown-up for once. Is she right? Let's follow and let your opinions, babes. Please drop some below.